Thursday Night Football, we have the Tennessee Titans going into Green Bay to take on the Packers. The Packers are favored by 3 in this game after their big win over the Cowboys. Last time the Packers and Titans played, the Packers destroyed Tennessee 40-14 in Lambeau in 2020. Aaron Rodgers and Christian Watson connected for 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys in Week 10. Christian Watson had 4 catches, 3 of them were for touchdowns.
Yep.
Wild stat. It kept their NFC playoff hopes alive. Tennessee's offense has struggled, but Derrick Henry should feast against this Packers defense that allows 140.6 rushing yards a game. I think this will be a close game. I think this is the first good Thursday night game we get this year. And I think Tennessee wins it like 24-20, which, well, they would definitely cover because they're +3 right now. I would take them straight up +135.
I think this will be a very run-heavy game. Of course, the Titans have Derrick Henry. The Packers have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, repping that UTEP shirt for Aaron Jones right now. I think the Packers kind of figured out the game last week against the Cowboys. They remembered they can run the ball, and that kind of solves their offensive issues with the passing game. So I have the Packers winning this game against the Titans. They found the groove. Aaron Rodgers gets back in it. Give me the Green Bay Packers winning by 4 points. So covering, let's shoot for the over. Be 24-20.
I think there was like 2 games this week that I was going back and forth on. I just couldn't settle it.
The other one is the Chargers and Chiefs.
He said, nah.
Or the Cowboys and Vikings, but this one.
Nah, the other one I'm looking at is the Rams Saints. They're just, but we'll get to that. See, I am going to agree with Steven on this one, just because I've been playing out scenarios for the NFC. I like the Packers upsetting the Titans. 24-20 sounds like a good one. So I guess I'm going with over, obviously. That'll push the Packers to a 5. What are they at right now? 5-6 record.
I'm looking at Tennessee's defense right now. I just wanted to check that out real quick. Their defense isn't that bad.
No, they're pretty good.
Their pass defense is not good, however. They'll be in Green Bay, and I'm sure it'll be cold as fuck. And Aaron Rodgers has somebody to throw to now. We'll see if that guy can stay consistent. Christian Watson?
He looked pretty concussed after the game. He took a pretty good hit towards the end of the game.
Oh. He won't get thrown into protocol.
No, he'll be fine, though. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Can of corn, he'll be fine.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a really run-heavy game because both teams are not great at throwing the football this year. But who knows? Aaron Rodgers is in his element now. He thrives in the cold. He's in Lambeau. He's getting hot now. I mean, it's his time of the season to shine, and this is where he's always thrived most, is when it's cold as fuck. They're in Lambeau. The Titans aren't a really great team, so it'll kind of depend on who can throw the ball better, I feel like. But I'm going to take Green Bay here. 24-20 is what you guys all had. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. 1, because it will be cold, and 2, it's going to be a very run-heavy game, I feel like. So I'm going to go 17-13 Packers.
Perfect.
So that gives you the under, and the Packers will cover that 3-point spread.
The Cleveland Browns are going into Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 8 points in this game, as they should be. The over-under is 43. The Bills are going to be pissed about losing to Minnesota, and poor Cleveland, they have to take the brunt of this beating. The Browns have 2 games before Deshaun Watson returns from his 11-game suspension. Oddly enough, did you guys know that he's returning against the Texans?
That's fucked.
In Houston.
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Buffalo's coming off a bad loss, and Josh Allen will bounce back against a Cleveland defense that was torched by Miami for 39 points and 491 yards in Week 10. The Browns won the last meeting 19-16. They're not winning this one. The Bills turn the tide. They win this game. This is my blowout of the week, fellas. I have the Bills winning. Yeah, it's like going to be, I'll say 38-13. That's my pick for this one, which gives the Bills to cover. The over-under I said was 43. That makes that cover too. So take the Bills.
The Bills should win this game easily. I have them winning by at least 10, so they're covering. I have the over on this game too, because I think Buffalo will score at least 35 on them, honestly. So I'm going to say 35-17. That's my score prediction. So over, give me Buffalo with the points, and that's it.
Fuck the Browns. We're going with the Bills. Bills over, because they're going to just blow their ass out. Obviously, that's about it. Fuck the Browns.
Obviously, that's about it.
Fuck the Browns are getting their ass blown out. All right, that's it.
Jesus Christ, Tony.
Basically blown out. Everything's being blown out. That's straight facts. I don't even know why we're moving on to Daniel. It's just straight facts.
He's kind of got a point, honestly. I'm going to give my take anyway. Full agreement with you guys. I mean, Cleveland has proved themselves to be pretty okay this year. I think we all thought they were going to do worse than they are. However, Buffalo's pissed, and I think Josh Allen is going to fucking just torch and obliterate this defense. I could see like Stephon Diggs going for 3-4 touchdowns. It's going to be bad for the Browns, I feel like. So I'm actually going to go further with the blowout, guys. I'm going to say like 45-20.
Oh my God.
The Bills are going to be fucking pissed. It's in Buffalo with that crowd behind them. Bills Mafia is a different fucking breed. So give me the, obviously the over on that, almost by the Bills by themselves. 42-20 Buffalo.
Timeout. You're giving the Browns 20 points?
Yeah, because they'll get some bullshit points at the end of the game.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little better.
That's about right.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt a little bit, but
It'll be
they're
like
gonna get
45-0 at the end, so they'll score some garbage.
They'll score
that's
20
why.
points in the
They'll
fourth
start
quarter.
the second string team, and they'll get a touchdown in there at the end.
Fun fact: if the season were to end today, all of the AFC East would be in playoffs.
Wow, that is a fun fact.
Factory.
Next game here, we have the Detroit Lions going into New York to take on the New York Giants. The Giants are favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 46.5. The Lions have a chance for a rare 3-game win streak here, and their offense looks better when Amon-Ra St. Brown is healthy. New York is 3-1 straight up in home games this season, and all 4 have been decided by 8 points or less. I think this is going to be a good game to watch, guys. The Giants, I think they're going to be able to run all over the Lions here. Saquon Barkley will probably have a really good game, but I'm backing the Lions in this game. They are plus 135. I believe in them to win in New York this week. I mean, if New York's going to get caught sometime soon, they have to, especially if you guys don't think they're the team that they are. If they blow out the Lions, then they're freaking for real. So I don't know, but not that the Lions are great, but
They're that team this year that like gives the good teams a little run for their money. They competed really well against the Eagles earlier in the season too. So
yeah.
watch out, New York.
I will take the Lions winning this game. I think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. I think the final score is going to be about 31-24. Lions on top. Take the over 46.5. Take the Lions straight up plus 135.
The problem with the Lions' defense is their run defense. The Cowboys ran all over them. The Bears ran all over them, even though the Lions won. And with Saquon back there, I mean, he should have a field day, honestly. It could be a low-scoring game. I think I'm still going to pull for the Giants on this one. I'll have them cover the 3 points. I'll have them win by a touchdown, 27-20. So I'm going to pick the over, barely. But give me the Giants winning this game.
I agree with Steven. I am picking the Giants to win. I'm going to go with under. It's because 46.5 is a lot. But yeah, Saquon should have a really good day. Like you said, the run defense for the Lions isn't the greatest. So once they can establish that, I think it'll be easy for them. Yes, Giants win.
I am also taking the Giants in hopes that I'm wrong for this game. I don't want the Giants to win. I
Same.
really don't want the Giants to continue winning because that just makes it worse for Dallas, and Dallas is not in a good position right now for the Giants to be winning any more games, or the Commanders for that. However, I am going to take the Giants here because I think they're the better football team. Yeah, fuck the Giants. But they should win this game. I mean, Saquon, like Steven said, should run all over this defense. That's where they're lacking a lot. But the Lions have a decent run offense too, and this is one of those weird games where the Lions could give the Giants a run for their money, but ultimately I'm going to take the Giants here to cover that 3-point spread. Not by a lot, and I'm going to take the under on this. I think 46.5 is a lot of points to score. Both teams' defenses are okay. Not great, but they're there, you know? But in the sense of picking, I'm taking the Giants here to cover that 3 points. Let's go 17-13 Giants. Low scoring game.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going into
Fuck 'em.
Indianapolis to take on my Indianapolis Colts. If Colts coach Jeff Saturday can knock off the Eagles, give that man coach of the year. Do it.
After
Get
2
him coach of
games.
the year after 2 games. Do it. Jonathan Taylor resurfaced with 147 yards, a 66-yard touchdown in Week 10. I think it was 60. It was 60-something yards. Don't remember. off the top of my head.
66.
I think the Colts can stay in this game. I do. I think they can stay in this game. I think they can definitely score on the Eagles. The Eagles are definitely going to score on them. In the end, I can't pick the Colts. I don't know. I just can't pick the Colts to win this game. The Colts are 6.5-point underdogs. The over-under is 45. I think it's going to be close to the end, and I think the Eagles will score to go up like the last 5 minutes to win the game. I think the score will be like 23-16, something like that, because we don't really score a lot of touchdowns. We've been scoring a lot of field goals. So I think we get like a touchdown, then get up to 16. Eagles score a touchdown to go ahead in the end there, and they win it. I will take the under 45 and let's say 23-16. That gives the Eagles the cover. just because they're 6.5 point favorites, so they would be my 7 there. So Eagles win, Eagles cover, under 45.
Yeah, I think this could be actually a really good game because I think the Commanders showed everyone how to beat the Eagles last night. You have to have a steady run game and make accurate passes enough to where you can pretty much, if you can take the ball away from the Eagles, they can't score against you. That being said, the Colts have a good run offense. Jonathan Taylor, of course. It would have been nice to see Hines back there still. I think Indy will be rocking this week with Jeff Saturday now that he won his first game. But I still have the Eagles winning this game. It's going to be a lot closer than I think everyone thinks it's going to be. I have the Eagles winning by 5. I have them winning 22-17. So that's going to be the under. I have the Colts covering.
Plain and simple. I'm going to give them an Eagles win. I'm going to say 28-14, taking us over 28-38. Yes, over 45. So that has the Eagles covering. I like Saturday. I want him to win. I'm rooting for him, but it's not going to happen.
Me too. I'm rooting for him too.
I'm rooting for him, but it's not going to happen. At least not this week. I'll save it for next week. We'll see what happens.
Hey, you never know.
Save it for next week, huh, Tony? Do you know who we play next week?
I mean, I'm trying to be nice here, Casey. I'm trying to give you hope.
We play the Steelers next week.
Obviously, it's not going to happen, but just trying to help you out here. But I like Joe Saturday. It sucks that he's going to start all 1 and 2, but. Anywho, yes, Eagles win. I also found it really stupid that they tried to make Boston Scott a thing. Have you noticed they didn't actually start playing their game until Sanders came in the second fucking half, which is stupid.
You know how happy I was about that because I was playing against Miles Sanders.
I know you were. That was me.
I know.
You're gonna have one touch in 2 quarters for 6 yards. That's some bullshit.
When it was the fourth quarter, I saw he had 0.6 points. I was like, oh, I'm good.
I hope they learned their lesson on get your starting running back in there and so you could do stuff.
I hate the Eagles so much, man. Just so much. And it wasn't that much. I didn't have that much hate until I started dating Jeanette. I didn't give a fuck about the Eagles. I hated the Niners and the Steelers the most. I want to pick Indy here. I really do. I love Jeff Saturday. And I'll tell you what, the reason that he is going to thrive as a coach in the NFL is because he's so smart. Offensive linemen as a whole have to be the smartest players on the field to succeed. It's just the truth. Like every other position does not compare to how intelligent you have to be to run an offensive line. It's insane. With that being said, though, I think the Eagles will bounce back here. I know it's in Indy, and I know you guys can pull it off the same way you did against the Chiefs.
Like I said, we beat the teams we're not supposed to beat, and we lose to the teams that we're supposed to beat.
It's at home where you did beat the Chiefs too. It's the NFL, you know. Either way, I'm still going to take Philly here. I think they're going to be pissed off and they're going to be playing to the abilities that they're capable of. So I'm going to take Philly to cover that 6.5 spread, at least win by a touchdown here. I think I'm going to say 28-14, 28-13 Philly. I think it's going to be not a big blowout game, but a little bit of a blowout game. Philly has to get back on top to prove that they're for real. But if Indy wins here, I mean, the Eagles might be getting exposed.
New York Jets are heading into New England to take on the Patriots. The Patriots are favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 38.5. This might be the lowest over-under of the week. These teams met in Week 8, and the Patriots won 22-17 on the strength of 5 field goals by Nick Folk. The Jets had a bye week to enjoy the victory against Buffalo, and Zach Wilson had a season-low 48.8 completion percentage in the first meeting against the Patriots. I think the Jets bounce back against the Patriots in Foxborough this week. And I think the Jets get the win in Foxborough this week. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I do think the Jets win 17-13 in an AFC East showdown that will be a defensive struggle for both teams. So 17-13 Jets. That makes the Jets cover because they are +3. The over-under is 38.5. Math, that's the under. So I would take the under 38.5. Jets cover. Jets win. If the Jets win, they're +140, so you can take that right there.
Yeah, who'd have thought that in Week 11, the Bills would be in 3rd place in the AFC East right now? Who had that on their bingo card?
Bingo card.
With Miami and the Jets taking the top 2 spots right now. The Jets, I think, are also going to get their revenge back on the Patriots. I have them winning 20-13, so I'll be picking the under. As Casey said, it should be a low-scoring game. Both these offenses can be a little sputtery at times, especially the Patriots. But they have proven themselves a couple times. But look for the Jets to get the revenge, get the win, and with the under.
I agree with Casey. I see them bouncing back. I don't think the Patriots are all there quite yet. They've been playing in a much better level, especially starting the season. So I'm giving the Jets a win. I'm going to pick over. I'm going to say it's going to be a semi-decent scoring game, 17-26. So I have the Jets winning. They seriously have the Patriots?
Patriots are favorite.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a
whatever.
game.
Just
That's
because they're in
why.
Foxborough, nah, I'm giving it to the Jets. They're taking the over, and obviously that makes them cover.
I think there'll be a lot of Jets fans in Foxborough this week. I'm gonna agree with you guys here, though. I just think the Jets are a better team right now, and that's crazy for me to say that the Jets are a better team than the Patriots. It's just weird coming out of my mouth. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets here as well. I think that it's gonna be a field goal to win game. Both these teams are pretty evenly matched. I feel like I think the Jets edge out just a little bit, but this game could go either way. It doesn't surprise me that the Patriots are favored just because both of these teams are so like inconsistent, to say the least. Like you just don't know what's going to happen with them each week, you know? However, I'm taking the Jets here. I like where you guys are in the score range right now, like the low 20s. I think I'm going to say 24-23 Jets. Game-winning field goal. And that puts you at the over. That puts you at 47 points, so over on that.
The Baltimore Ravens coming off bye. Looks like they have another bye this week because they're playing the Carolina Panthers at home. The Ravens are favored by 12. The over-under is 43.5. I think the Ravens are just going to blow out the Panthers. I don't see this game being really close.
Guess who's starting for Carolina again, baby? Baker Mayfield,
Baker?
motherfucker.
Baker
Baker.
Mayfield is scheduled to start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Here's something else. The Panthers are 0-4 straight up on the road.
It's not good for them this year.
Ravens at home, I think they blow them out. I don't know if they'll score a lot of points. I'll take the under 43.5. They might be close to it. I think the Ravens will score something like 27, but I don't know if the Panthers are going to score a lot of points on this Ravens defense. So give me the Ravens to win. I'm going to give them the cover on the 12, under 43.5.
Yeah, I think the Ravens, after being well rested, they should be able to win this game pretty easily. 12 points is a lot, even for maybe a blowout. I think it can be possible. I think the Ravens should win by at least 2 touchdowns, 31-14, which will give you the over.
Pretty easy choice this week. I'm just trying to come up with a good number in terms of scoring. I have the Ravens winning. I'm going to go with the over, and I'm going to have them cover. I'm going to give them 35-2. That's a good number for them. 10 is too low. 17's too high.
14. Do 14.
16.
Oh, you fuck.
35-16. How's it going to happen? I don't know, but they're somehow going to get 16 points up there. There's going to be 2 touchdowns, and then they're going to get a safety somehow.
There you go. Yeah. The most like obscure way possible. They're going to get 4 safeties.
They're going to miss an extra point.
They had 4 safeties, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion.
Fuck yeah. That'd be hilarious. I'm on board with you guys in the sense that Baltimore's going to win this game, but I think Carolina's going to cover this spread. I don't see it. Baltimore is not, they're very productive on offense sometimes, and that's the key to it. They're either like just lights out or they're just meh. They are coming off bye week, and I think they might like just struggle getting back into it a little bit. And 12 points is a big spread for any matchup in the NFL as well. So I don't think they'll cover that. I'm going to take Baltimore to win it, but I think I'm going to let's go 27-21 Baltimore. I think Carolina is going to hang around here just because Baltimore is so inconsistent there, and hopefully Baker can do something with his career again, prove himself, because he's just falling apart little by little. But I'm hopeful for it. XFL, here we come. But 21-27 Ravens.
Chicago Bears are visiting the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 50. Justin Fields had 325 rush yards the last 2 weeks. He is drawing some Michael Vick comparisons, and I can see it. The dude can play some football. Atlanta had a very long week to bounce back from a Thursday night football loss against the aforementioned Panthers we just talked about. These are 2 of the worst passing offenses in the NFL. Fields is going to make some plays, but I like the Falcons at home, and I think they win by 3. They are favored by 3, so they cover. I think the final score will be 20-17, something along those lines. The over-under is 50 points. I'm going to take the under.
They don't have any defenses.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't think 50 points are going to be scored in this game. So I'm going to take the Falcons to win by 3. And I'm going to take the under 50.
The Chicago Bears defensive rankings right now, 28th in the league. And the Atlanta Falcons are at 30. So that's why the over-under is at 50.
Where their offense is, though.
It's a good question. Let's find out. Offense.
Are they bottom
30 and 31.
There you go. So they can't score. They can't stop. Something's got to give in this game. But still, give me the Falcons by 3, under 50.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm actually gonna pick the Bears to win this game because Justin Fields has just found himself lately, and I think he's just gonna run all over this Falcons defense. So I have the Bears winning by 4, 28-24. So that will bring you with the over with 52 points. I would definitely take the Bears.
This is somewhat of a tough choice. I could care less about both teams, but I mean, Steven's right. Justin Fields has just been playing on a different level recently. But fuck him. I'm going to go with the Falcons anyway. I agree with Casey. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I'll give them the under because I don't think either one's capable of producing 50 points or anything close to add up to 50 points with the other. So I'll give them that field goal win, having them cover, but I'll take the under on that game.
It is a good matchup. You know, this game could go either way. It's that game for this week. It just, anything can happen. There's not a lot of logic that makes you sway one way or the other. But Atlanta's at home, and the Bears have just not been playing well. So I'll take Atlanta here. It's only a 3-point spread. I think it's going to be right around that 50-point range, honestly. So I'm still going to take the under on it. I'm going to say 24-20 Atlanta. So right under the 50 mark, but Atlanta covers that 3-point spread at 24-20.
Next game, we have the Washington Commanders going into Houston to take on the Texans. The Commanders are favored by 3.5 in this game. The over-under is 40.5. The Commanders, after beating the Eagles this last week, are on the fringe of the playoff picture. They have won 2 road games this season. Houston does not have much outside a solid rookie season from running back Dameon Pierce, who has 772 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he has been falling out of his mind. The Texans, fun fact, are 0-4 against the spread when they are an underdog of less than 7 points. Make it 0-5 because I think the Commanders are going to win by about 10. So I like the Commanders to win like 30-20. They score a late touchdown to pull ahead, kind of like they did against the Eagles. I have just under, so I have 40 points scored. The over-under is 40.5. I have the under.
I have to agree. I think the Commanders are just a better overall team than the Texans. The Commanders are a solid team, honestly. They're just playing in a really tough division, as we know with the NFC East. But they're still doing pretty well. I'm gonna have the Commanders covering. I'm gonna have them winning 28-10. So that's gonna be the under, but Washington will cover.
Like you said, there's nothing much going on with the Texans right now except for the run game. It seems like that's their story for the past 10 years or so. They have one good player who just comes out of nowhere, like D-Hop. You had God damn it, what's his name?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, thank you. Everybody good ends up getting traded just because they're trying to rebuild for a better team, but it never happens. So I'm going to give it to the Commanders. I think this will be the beginning of them edging out the Cowboys out of there, but we will touch on that later. So I'm going Commanders. I agree with you. I think they're going to pull away like they did with the Eagles in the final minutes. I'll give them an over. I say they're going to score some points.
I think you triggered Daniel. His eyes look like they were about to pop out of his head.
I'm used to it from Tony.
We'll touch on that take once we get to the Cowboys game for the week.
We'll get to it. I'll keep it short and sweet. Washington's going to beat Houston here. Houston just has nothing going for them. Washington's coming off a hot win in Philly. Fuck the Eagles. Commanders beating Houston. We'll cover that 3.5 spread. We'll say 27-20. That covers the over, or that puts it at over. 47 points scored. 27-20 Commanders. Bingo.
The LA Rams going into New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 4 in this game. The over-under is 38.5. The reason why the over-under is 38.5 because both of these teams cannot score points. Also, the Rams just lost Cooper Kupp for the season.
Yeah.
Or at least the next 4 games. He's on IR. The Saints are banged up too. The Rams have lost 3 straight games. It's a stretch where they have averaged 14 points per game. And like I said, Cooper Kupp is gone. The Saints have averaged 11.5 points in back-to-back losses. They have lost 4 of 5. Somebody has to win here, right? Unless they tie. But when 2 bad teams meet, anything can happen. This is a coin flip game. I flipped a coin. It landed on the Rams. Give me the Rams to win. They cover the 4. I'm going to take the under 38.5, though, because both these teams suck. There's that. The Rams are also plus 170 if you take them straight up. I got the Rams, so.
This is the game I have not chosen yet because I just don't know. I was like, both offenses are pretty much anemic right now.
They're abysmal.
We're going to find out if Matthew Stafford can actually throw to someone not named Cooper Kupp this week.
He has
or
to.
or else the Rams are screwed. I mean, I think the only reason why the Saints are favored by 4 is because it's in New Orleans. So just based off that, I think the Saints will win this game. It's going to be a really low scoring game. Definitely pick the under for this game, please. If the over hits, then I don't know.
This
But
game
I'm
might
gonna have
end
this.
2-0.
I'm gonna have the Saints winning 14-10.
Giving it to the Saints, not just because they're home, but because I think they're playing at a better capacity than the Rams are right now. I'll give them a touchdown of a win. So I'll have them cover, and I will say over. The Rams suck though. 38 points. That's pretty low. I'll go over. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Those are my favorite when we just say fuck it. Just do it. You know? All right. Well, we're going to be even split here because I'm taking the Rams to fucking get their shit together. I'm so tired of this bullshit team. I don't
Same.
understand how they're this bad. I don't get it. It's so terrible. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The offensive line just doesn't exist apparently. And Matthew Stafford, I don't know. Like, I can't even compare him to anything because he's always been a good quarterback. He's falling apart. No Cooper Kupp now. Hopefully Matthew Stafford can start spreading the ball. Taking the Rams here. That covers that 4 points already. So score wise, I'm going to take the Rams to win 22-16 in New Orleans. The Saints just aren't there enough. And like Casey said, one of these teams has to win. And I'm picking the Rams again for some terrible reason, but it's where we're at.
Next game here, we have the Raiders going into Denver to take on the Broncos. Two teams that everybody thought was going to be legit threats haven't done shit.
Hey, you called the Raiders, I called the Broncos.
Yep, we both called both those teams. Denver has the top scoring defense in the NFL, as we said, and they have the worst scoring offense in the NFL. The Raiders have won the last 5 in this rivalry, but I think the Broncos flipped the script this time. Broncos will win it at home. This might be another terrible game, but I have not been a believer in the Raiders all season. I think they lose this game to Denver in a division rivalry. The Broncos are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 41.5. I think the Broncos can win this game 24-20. I think that it'll be a close game. It's a division rivalry. Broncos will cover that spread with the 2.5. 24-20. That puts you over the 41.5. So I have over. Broncos win. Broncos cover.
Man, 2 games in a row that it's like coin flips basically.
Yeah, this was a really hard game to pick. I think it will be an entertaining game. Whoever loses this game, they're done. The loser of this game is done.
You're done. I have the Broncos winning. I think the Broncos kind of figure out a little bit of their lives finally, but it is against the Raiders, who have not been performing. The Raiders should have been much better this year than the Raiders are basically the Vikings of usual, where they're really good on paper and they've just royally sucked. But I have the Broncos winning. I have them winning 24-21. It'll be a tight game. So that's going to bring the over for me. But I have the Broncos winning, covering with 3 points and taking the over.
I am disappointed by the Raiders. I picked up Darren Waller because I thought he would be doing something even though the rest of the offense could suck a dick. That didn't happen.
Nope.
Darren Waller's been out for 5 weeks. He's gotten me about 15 points on fantasy. What a
Do you still
heartbreak.
have him on your team?
I have hope in him.
Wow. You should get rid of him.
That's the thing. I have no one to get rid of him for. So I mean, it does me no good or no bad to get rid of him at this point because there's no one else that's standing out. Anywho, I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I'm gonna have them cover. I'm actually gonna give them a 2 field goal win. I say Russ is gonna ride real good. I bet you he's already doing his warm ups. He chartered a plane so he could do some high knees on the flight. Although he doesn't need it because they're home, he's gonna do some high knees and he's gonna get them right into that win for the week. I'll go under. I don't think it'll be too high of a scoring game. 21-14 tops. Knowing the Raiders and my luck with them, freaking Waller's gonna come back this week and score the 2 touchdowns.
I do think this will be a good matchup. These teams are both pretty mediocre. I think the Broncos are less mediocre in my TikTok picks. If you guys haven't seen those, go check them out. The way I came into this was Broncos country. Let's ride. Because we don't know. Like, guys, who fucking knows at this point? Russell Wilson's too busy doing high knees and pissing off his teammates. But they played decent last week. Their defense is just keeping them in everything at this point. So I don't understand how their offense is so terrible. They have weapons. And Russell Wilson is their quarterback. Russell Wilson's not a bad quarterback. They can't mesh together. And that's what I had talked about at the beginning of the season. Like, everybody was riding the Broncos so high. And I was just like, they gotta click too, you know, like you can't just put good players together and it automatically works, right? They have to build chemistry together, and just the way sports in general work, not even just football. I'm taking Denver here. Low scoring game. Both offenses can't do a lot. Their defenses it'll be a more defensive matchup, I feel like. So I'm going to take Denver here, 17-13, which will cover that 2.5 spread, and that's taking the under 41.5. Everybody fucking go get your popcorn and soda because I'm about to go fucking nuts.
The Cowboys are going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Cowboys are favored by 1. What disrespect to Minnesota. Go into Buffalo, you beat the Bills, and the Cowboys are favored after losing to the goddamn
That's pretty
Packers.
fucked.
That is pretty fucked. Like, what the fuck? Give the Vikings the respect they deserve, people. They are a really good football team.
Damn it,
I
it's
don't
not in
understand.
prime time.
I don't understand. And this game, well, it's not a primetime game, but it is a 425 game, so everybody will be able to watch it. Kirk Cousins is 2-8 lifetime against Dallas. That includes a 1-2 mark with Minnesota. Justin Jefferson is nuts. Did you guys see that catch that he made?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
He pulled it in. That
Odell's was still better.
crazy.
I think Odell's is
Okay,
better.
this is a close one. My thing with Jefferson's is that he ripped it from the guy that had it with 2 hands, ripped it with
Right.
1 hand, and then grabbed it, and then fell on the
That's
ground.
thing,
Like,
though,
it was
is
crazy.
Justin Jefferson didn't really like catch that ball. The defensive back caught it. Justin Jefferson had his hand in there. And he ripped it out when they were on the ground, which like it's still crazy. Like,
Yeah, I don't
I'm
care
not
either way.
trying to
That
discredit it.
takes an ungodly amount of talent to do that.
But that
Like,
catch
that-
from Odell in I think it was
Yeah.
like 2014.
against Cowboys.
That shit was like behind. Like,
yeah,
it was insane.
it's like it stuck to his
it was-
hand, pulled it back.
It didn't
but-
look real when it happened. That's how crazy it was. But still a great catch from Justin Jefferson. That guy's the truth for sure.
But anyway, I don't know how Dallas is favored in this game. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how. Dallas's defense is pretty stout. Minnesota's got a pretty good defense too, though. Looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's offense can score. Dallas's offense can score. I think this is the game of the week here. I think we're going to see a really good game in Minnesota. All in all, though, over unders and spreads. I told you Dallas is favored. Dallas is only favored by 1 point. That could shift by the end of the week, and Minnesota could be favored.
I think it will.
But the over under is 47.5. I think this game's going to end like 34-28, 31-28. But I think the Vikings pull it off and they win at home and they keep their train going. Hopefully, they're favored in their next game. But the Cowboys can absolutely win this game. I think Minnesota's going to pull it out. Kirk Cousins got too many chains around his neck whenever he goes back to the locker room now. His teammates should just like have chains ready, like, and open them up as soon as he wins. It's like all reliable right there.
Mm-hmm.
But Vikings win. I'm going to give it to him 30. Let's call it 34-28. Give the over 47.5. Vikings cover. If you take the Vikings straight up, they're minus 105. If you take the Cowboys straight up, they're minus 115. I would take the Vikings straight up. Better odds there.
I have the Vikings winning this game 28-27 right now. It should be a barn burner, or not a barn burner. It should be a really good game, honestly. The Cowboys beat the Vikings last year with Cooper Rush. That's Cooper Rush's first game. Now we get to see how Dak performs against the Vikings. Hopefully he can finally find his game, but I still think the Vikings will pull this off by 1 point. Cowboys getting 2 field goals, Vikings just getting the 4 touchdowns. So give me the over on points, but the Vikings winning by 1. It's going to go down to the wire. It just depends on who has the
I
ball
hate the
last,
Cowboys.
basically.
Cowboys, Vikings.
I think the
don't
Cowboys are
disappoint us.
why I have anxiety issues now. I think that's what it is because it gets worse and worse every week.
Okay, the Colts are why I drink. So there you go.
All right, so we're here. We made it. We made
Wait,
it
should
to
I
the
do
game.
this for Tony real quick?
We made it.
Tony's taking the Vikings fucking 48-20.
So let's touch on this real quick. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Vikings, especially after the performance they put on against the Bills last week or 2 days ago. We're not that far along. I don't see why why the Cowboys are favored, especially by such a small deficit. It will be a good game, but I think it's gonna be very one-sided. Reason I say that is that the Cowboys, sorry too, but they've been writing the cupcake schedule all season long. Like I said earlier, I think this is the point in the season where we might see if anyone's going to do it, I think the closest ones right now are the Commanders to have a shot to edge out the Cowboys from playoffs. But back to this week's game, going with the Vikings, taking for the over, just because I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. I'm going to say 35-14, which takes us away from that cover for
Yep, that's about what I expected from Tony. Either Tony's going to be right or the Cowboys are going to win by 1 point at the last second. There's no in between for me. Either the Vikings are going to blow Dallas out of the fucking water, which very well could happen because Dallas's offense can't. I want to say they can't find their groove, but they scored 49 against the Bears, and you should never score that many points in the NFL against anyone. So it's like, well, fucking what team is showing up this week, right? There were a lot of defensive touchdowns. I think there were 2 defensive touchdowns in that.
There's
Bears game.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that too. But Dallas just has to show up, man. They gotta stop trying to be cute with everything. I say this every single week about fucking Kellen Moore, and I will say it until he stops. Play fucking football, not Madden NFL 22. It's not the same. You can't go in trying to just trick the other team the whole time. It becomes too predictable. They start reading everything you're doing. You have talent on your offense. Your offensive line has been playing way better than any of us expected. Tony Pollard's still back there. I mean, Zeke's been sitting out the past couple weeks, but Tony Pollard is just as good, if not better at this point. That duo is it's great to have. But just run the ball. Just run the fucking ball. I don't get it. They go just, ugh. It drives me nuts. They do all these stupid little pick plays behind the line of scrimmage, or it'll be like, everybody run a slant. Everybody run a post. Everything comes across the middle of the field, and I don't understand. You have Michael Gallup on one side of the field who can catch the deep ball on the outside, like corner fades, whatever. The offense hasn't clicked, and Dak has been playing terrible. I need them to show up this week because it's making me really sad. Last week was not good. We should have blown Green Bay out of the water the way Green Bay has played all year, but we can't beat Green Bay in Green Bay for some reason. Aaron Rodgers might own the Cowboys more than he owns the Bears. Dallas just has to show up. That's all it is. I'm taking Dallas to win on the last second field goal by 1 fucking point. I don't know what score though. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to take with Steven, 28-27, but Dallas wins. That's where I'm at.
All right, Tony.
Stresses me out more than it should.
You ready? Your team's up next.
Easy win.
Cincinnati Bengals going into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. The Steelers did beat these Bengals 23-20, and Steelers are a different team with TJ Watt on the field. Let's just get that straight right now.
Yep.
TJ Watt is a monster. He was on the field last week. He took over last week. The Bengals, however, are coming off of a bye week, and I don't think Joe Burrow is going to throw 4 interceptions this time like they did in the first meeting. I think the running game behind Joe Mixon will be a difference maker, and Cincinnati picks up its first NFC North victory of the season, believe it or not. Over-under in this game, Bengals favored by 5. The over-under is 41. I'll take the over. So over 41. I'll have the Bengals cover, but it won't surprise me at all if the Steelers win this game because they've already done it in Cincinnati.
I have the Bengals winning and covering. 5 points is a little bit, but I have them winning by 8. I have them winning 28-20. So that's going to bring me with the over. I just think Cincinnati's just too well rounded now, and the Steelers are still trying to find themselves offensively with Kenny Pickett. So give me the Bengals winning 28-20.
Let's get it. I'm going to start by saying this. It's going to be an 11-6 season for the Steelers. We're going undefeated from today. From today on, TJ Watt's going to end the season at 10-0. We signed the Field Pigeons to a $30 million contract. Did you guys notice that we're 2-0 with the Pigeons on the field?
Like crazy amount of birds just in the background on the field. It looked really weird. I know what you're talking about.
Won against the Bengals, and it happened again this week. Still undefeated.
Lucky Pigeons. I like it.
Lucky Pigeons. Steelers are a completely different team defensively when we have Watt back. He is 2-0 this season against the Bengals and now the Saints. So we're going to be testing that theory. But defensively, we have gotten better against the run. So I think Joe Mixon will have a little bit of a tough night or tough day. They play at 2-4 for you guys. He'll have a tougher scenario coming back from that 51-point fantasy game. 5 touchdowns, that's insane. It's not going to happen again. I'm giving the Steelers, like I said, I only had them winning. Had the Steelers losing once on my picks, and that was against the Eagles. So I'm going back to the Steelers. I'm pretty sure I'm in a lone wolf it this week. I will give the Steelers. It's that stupid offense. Kenny Pickett just can't figure it out. What a freaking bust.
Sounds like all the Steeler quarterbacks the last 10 years.
10 years. 10 years.
That's all he had.
Sure one of those 10 years, we blew out the Colts 3 times.
Hey, we play you next week. Keep my
team's
name out your fucking mouth, okay?
That's where you're going to go 1-2. 2-2 on week against the Cowboys. I'm giving you guys a win there. Giving the Steelers a win, so that covers. And I'm going to go with the over just because I'm going to give them that 24-20 win.
Tony always finishes his takes like on a high note, so I never know when he's actually done. I think this game is going to be closer than a 5-point spread just because it's that division rivalry. The Bengals are coming off that bye week. should be pretty rested here. It is in Pittsburgh, but I just don't see the Steelers taking this. I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't want to go like too much into detail with this. The Steelers are a different team with TJ Watt back on the field. They just are. He's that player for them. Makes a difference having that guy. I'm taking Cincinnati here. 31-27 over the Steelers. That is a 4-point difference. So the Steelers will cover that 5-point spread. And that takes the over big time.
Here we go. Sunday Night Football. We have the Kansas City Chiefs going into LA to take on the Chargers. The Chiefs have scored 40-plus points in 3 of their 4 road games. You know who they didn't score 40-plus points against? The Colts. The Colts beat them. The Colts won. Oh, yay. Okay, well, we're going to keep going here. And they have a chance to win a 9th straight game at the Chargers. That's insane. The Chargers can't beat the Chiefs at home. I think Mahomes will continue to look like Mahomes, and the Chiefs will continue to look like the team to beat in the AFC. The Chiefs are favored by 6.5 in this game. The over-under is 50. I think the Chiefs will win this game, and I think they'll win by like 10 or 13. I just don't see the Chargers keeping up. I mean, if the Chargers were healthy...
I was going to say, is their entire receiving core still hurt?
Keenan Allen may return this week. He's questionable, but
he's also
Mike Williams is still out. So that's like their top 2 guys. So I just don't see the Chargers really competing in this game. I want them to, but I don't think they can. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think they're going to win convincingly. I think the Chargers will put up some points. I think the Chiefs win like 31-17. That's my pick there. Chiefs cover that 31-17. That is under 50 points.
The Chiefs are just a monster still. I mean, even without Tyreek Hill, they're still putting up points like crazy. The Chiefs should win this game. I have the Chiefs covering. I have them winning 35-24 against the Chargers. So Chiefs will cover. Give me the points. It's going to be another home crowd for KC.
Do any LA teams have a home crowd?
The Lakers and the Kings, probably.
Oh, I meant in that stadium.
I'm giving the Chiefs an easy win just because the Chargers are not what they were, and they are struggling on both sides of the field right now. So I'll give the Chiefs. I like your prediction, Steven. Your score prediction. That sounds like a pretty good one. 35. What'd you say? 24.
Yeah, 35-24.
So it's a pretty solid number. Give them the over. They're going to cover. Chiefs win.
I don't know what the thing is, honestly. I have a weird feeling that the Chargers might win this game for some reason. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pick them because that's not logical. And the Chargers are beat up and the Chiefs aren't. And the Chiefs are just a better team. They're leading the AFC now. So I just can't pick the Chargers. I want to. I think they're a good team. They've made do with what they have right now, but it's just not enough to compete with Kansas City. The way the Bills are playing right now, they have 3 losses already. KC might come out of the AFC this year into the Super Bowl again. They're playing lights out. I'm taking the Chiefs here. I think you guys are pretty good in the score range right now, Steven and Tony, with that 35-24. I think I'm going to go a little bit lower than that, though. Maybe? Nah, fuck it. You know what, Steven? I'm going to stick right there with you, buddy. 35-24 Chiefs. I think that's a really good score, and I think that's the way it's going to go. Last game.
Here we go, guys.
Okay, sorry. I had to get that out.
Monday Night Football. We have the San Francisco 49ers and Arizona Cardinals going into Mexico City to play each other. The 49ers are rounding into shape as a playoff contender here, and the tag team backfield of Christian McCaffrey and Eli Mitchell combined for 32 carries, 127 yards against the Chargers in Week 10. What a pickup Christian McCaffrey was for the freaking 49ers. I think that made him an instant Super Bowl contender. Instant.
It's true. Last week, though, he only ran for like a very minimal amount of yards, but I think it might have just been that he didn't play very much.
Yeah.
Because he's still getting worked in.
I think it's because Eli Mitchell kind of came back, so they tried to...
Yeah.
They're trying to see a tandem back there to see what they would look like.
Yep.
Kyler Murray is out with a quote-unquote hamstring injury. He's going to be playing Warzone all week at home, so we'll see what happens there. The Cardinals did sweep the series in 2021, but the 49ers are definitely the better team this year. I have a pretty close game to the end. The 49ers are favored by 8. The over-under is 43.5. I think the 49ers are going to win this game 34-28. That is my prediction. That puts you over the 43.5. The Cardinals will cover.
I have the 49ers winning. I think the 49ers just adding Christian McCaffrey just pretty much rounds out their whole offense, and they had like 8 players come back last week. And now that they're getting back into game shape again, I think it's just going to be another win for the 49ers. I have them winning 31-21. So I have 49ers covering the 8 points and the over 43.5.
I think I'm agreeing with Casey on the score this week. I'm gonna give it to the Niners, especially with Murray out. So Niner win, over, and with a cover.
Are we gonna see another fucking Niners and Chiefs Super Bowl this year?
God, I hope not.
I fucking hate it here. I hate it here. The Niners might just start fucking wiping the floor with everyone. They got all their players back. They added Christian McCaffrey. I hate to say it because I hate the fucking Niners, but they have all the weapons that they need at this point, and they might make a serious run and just womp through the NFC for the rest of the year. Having said that, Warzone 2 is out tomorrow. Kyler Murray's fucked, so there's that. And San Francisco is just putting everything together piece by piece every week. It's just getting better and better. They got all their players, well, not all of them, but most of their players back that they had. Their offense is just insanely stacked at this point. Sorry, Trey Lance, but the Niners are better off this way. I'm going to take the Niners here to cover that 8-point spread. It is in Mexico City, but I think the Niners crowd is going to show up big there because there's a lot of, I don't want
Mexican
to
Niner fans? Yeah,
I don't want to sound racist in any. It's not racist, but there's a lot of Mexican
say it for
Niner
you.
fans. There is. Like in El Paso, you're either a Cowboys fan or a Niners fan. Those are the
49ers fan, yep.
yeah, those are the dominant teams here. It's mostly Cowboys fans, but this is definitely it. So I think there's going to be a big Niner crowd there in Mexico City. But I think the Niners are going to start making a big run here. Xander's in there saying that the Niners aren't even in the playoffs right now, but the way the NFL or the NFC is going, they're going to end up there real quick.
Here's
So
the thing,
fucking
too. Their
games.
schedule is very favorable to end the season. They play the
Yeah.
Cardinals this week, the Saints next week, the banged up Saints. Dolphins will be a tough test for them, but they've got them at home. They play the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, the Commanders, the Raiders, and then the Cardinals again. All
Yeah.
winnable
So
games.
I see 3 games there that they could lose. I mean, they could lose all of them at any given
Right now,
point, not
the-
in a row,
the-
obviously. But Niners cover that 8-point spread. Over-unders at 43.5. I like the under there because I don't think Arizona's going to score a lot. I don't think San Francisco's going to score a lot either. I think it's just going to be kind of a defensive, not bout, but the Niners are going to kind of walk away with it. I just don't see Arizona scoring a lot, though. Give me San Francisco, let's say 24-10 in Mexico City.